All right, well, this is Jeff Van Werf again. Today's video, we're going to show you the first. It's probably going to be the first of about 2 or 3 videos talking about the technology we use to plant corn, what a corn planter looks like on our farm here in Michigan. This is the back to front view of a corn planter we use. This is the Kinze 2700 front fold corn planter. This is a 36-row, 20-inch planter. What we have here is, when we say a 36-row, so 36 of these little units across the back, back, this thing folds out, and drops, obviously, because it's 4 feet off the ground right now. And then once that happens, 36 rows, and you can see about 20 inches in between rows. Now, for those of you not familiar with a corn planter, how it operates, ours is set up with a reduced tillage system. So what we have is actually this side you probably see a little better, neither one works real great. We have what we call a cutting wheel. What this coulter does is this actually cuts the stalks in half, and then we have behind it a trash wheel, and this trash wheel rolls and flips the stalks out of the way. Now that opens up an opening for the double disc openers. These wheels turn and they allow the ground to part, then the seed drops through. The seed is stored up in this hopper here. This is a 3-bushel hopper. Comes down through a metering chamber here, drops down, electronic eyes keep track, drops in the trench. This unit is called a Keaton seed firmer. This presses the seed in, and then we're also applying some liquid fertilizer. We'll talk about that in a minute. These press wheels keep the sides compacted, and then we close the trench, and we close it with a spike tooth and a rubber. So what we have is we have a rubber wheel here that presses down, and we have a spike tooth wheel that runs. Now the advantage of this is if we get into wet conditions or on some of our heavier clay ground, we don't bake the seed trench shut, meaning the ground doesn't get so hard the seedling can't emerge through it. This spiked wheel will leave one side of the trench loose so that the seed can actually grow around the side if it needs to. Under normal conditions it'll come up through the middle, but if the seed needs to, it can come around the side. Each unit's identical, 36 units. You can see the little rubber tubes here. That's where the fertilizer comes through. Try and get a shot of the clutches. These units right here, this is an electric drive clutch system we have. This was the first planter in the United States to have the 36-row ag leader system. We can actually turn these units on and off in a bank of 3 with our GPS technology. So if we're planting a field on an angle, we're not over planting. We only plant up to the edge, and then they click on and off in increments of 3. So we eliminate overlap. We use less seed, less fertilizer. It's more economical and more efficient. And the tanks up top, we hold a liquid starter. We run about 5 gallons an acre through the planter, 3 gallons of what's an 8% nitrogen, 24% phosphorus, and 4% potassium, 824-4 Hyperlink with a micro pack and a root growth hormone in it, biostimulant to get our seeds going. And then we also run 2 gallons of what's called Sure-K. It's a pharmaceutical grade potassium replacement. Marker arms on the planter flip out, but we do have GPS in the tractor, so we sometimes use them, sometimes don't. This thing is really impressive when it folds out. Pulling this, we pull it with a New Holland TG285 front wheel assist tractor, 290 horsepower. Tractor weighs about 38,000 pounds, as you can see, front and rear duals all the way around. Takes a lot of horsepower to pull this planter. This is a challenging machine to keep moving all the time. As far as technology inside our cab, we step on up. You can see our ag leader display and all our point row control switches. Now what we can record on this monitor here is we actually are creating an interactive map of what we're planting. We have, if I can get it turned on here a second, here we go. When we start running this, we will record the variety, where it went, the fields, everything will be mapped in place. Now, this same monitor system is in the airflow spreader, the AirMax spreader you saw earlier on the wheat video, spreading fertilizer. It's in the sprayers that spray herbicide on our fields. And then this actual unit goes into the combine when we harvest. Plus, one of these sits on our 4-wheeler for our grid mapping. So we have the ability to, across a single platform, all our data is stored. So I have maps, real-time maps I can overlay of our soil tests, our fertilizer, our herbicide, our corn planting, and our harvesting. So, you know, we really know what's going on every acre of all the ground we farm. You know, this technology is what keeps us moving all the time. So, you know, we can select operators, and then once we get going, you know, you come to a screen like this, there's a map of our field. That's where we're going to start planting. This is actually a field from last year. This field had 3K11 Pioneer, I believe, in it. But you can see down here, this is our population monitor, our spacing, our target rate. We can change the rate on the go. We've got a lot of options here. So other controls, that's how we spin the planter around, move it around. Actually sit in the driver's seat here. Kind of your view out the front as you head across the rows, and then your view looking behind you. So it's a pretty good sized machine, pretty impressive. We can cover about around 30 acres an hour with this machine is what our monitor tells us we can do. So some of the technology we use for planting corn here in Michigan, we're going to get started this afternoon. So yeah, it's 23rd of April, time to get going. So we'll have an update video then for you there, and show you this baby in action and unfolding and doing its thing. So till next time, thanks.